Oh, yo, what is going on? It's the DFS Shark, and we are back with another day of some NBA hoops. It is now January 26th, and we are coming off a day yesterday where we lost pretty bad. I'm not gonna lie. We ended up only hitting 2 out of 5 on our lineup, which in PrizePicks it doesn't really matter if you win 3 out of 5, 2 out of 5, 1 out of 5. You're pretty much still losing the slip anyway. But we only hit 2 out of 5, and the thing with this channel is I'm 100% transparent with my losses, right? And that's why I do my full recaps, right? Because I'm going over my losses. I'm not hiding them. I'm giving these plays away. And then the next day, I'm always doing full recaps on what happened, what that line did, sharing the wins and the losses, right? So the last couple of days, it's been a rough little stretch here. We've been losing. A lot of it's been those assist lines have been killing us, right? Those assist lines. So I actually have one assist line in the lineup today, but it's not one of my top 2 plays, but it's a play that I'm liking. But I'm going to get into the recap of these plays because before this little 2 to 3 day cold streak we're on, we were absolutely crushing it. Starting out the year, right? Our first couple of weeks, we won like 12 out of our first 14 days, right? So we were absolutely on fire all the way up here. So we're slowly kind of coming back down a little. So if you are going to play these plays today, definitely, proceed with caution, but this is what I'm rolling with, man. I stick to my system. I stick to what's been working for me all year, all of last year, as I've been doing really well on PrizePicks, right? So I'm going to keep it rolling. I'm going to keep with what I do, running my system based on numbers, stats, and odds makers, Vegas lines, everything like that, right? I'm not changing nothing. I ride out the cold streaks because I have good bankroll management. So I'm not concerned with losses because the big days are around the corner. And another thing I want to talk about in today's video, we're going to get into in a bit also is, I've been running a little system behind the scenes on NHL hockey, right? I haven't talked about it. I haven't even shared in the Discord just because I've been putting the minimum bet, like $5, just because I'm trying to keep up with the wins and losses and testing it, right? And I did hit a 10X on it yesterday. I've actually hit a couple of 10Xs in this last month on it. So I'm going to start rolling those out daily in the Discord. I'm only going to be sharing those in Discord because I don't want to be creating a whole new video for that, right? So if you want to get access to those NHL lines, if you want to throw some NHL in there along with NBA, join that Discord. The link is down below for that. But if you are new to PrizePicks, if you've never played before, there is also another code. Drop that in because today is actually Flex Friday. Let me show the guns a little, right? We got Flex Friday today. So that means basically every Friday, what PrizePicks does is they give you a $20 play, right? They're going to add it to, there's a little promo section in PrizePicks. They're going to add it in there and they're going to give you a free $20 play. So whatever lineup you put in, you put 20 on it. Say you lose completely, right? So you don't win nothing. They're going to refund you your $20 by the next morning, right? Like clockwork. They're going to refund you. But if you hit, if you hit a 5-man or a 6-man, you're either 10X or 25X in your money, right? So this is a great day to get started. If you are new, if you haven't signed up to PrizePicks, use that code below and they will hook you up. But let's go over the recap on yesterday's plays, right? So we can see we had our first 2 top plays. The assist, man, I'm telling you, the assist lines have been killing us. Drew Holiday, Herder, they both hit that. Drew Holiday just hit it by the hook. Herder got us in the second half, right? So those were tough ones, man. Those were tough ones. Nothing I can do about that. They just got their assists. There wasn't nothing crazy that happened in those games. I didn't get a chance to tune in completely, but yeah, Gafford balled out for us, right? Gafford and Caruso. And Claxton was a play I liked a lot, right? He was playing the Timberwolves, the #1 defense in the league. They got Towns, they got Gobert, they got some strong defenders in there. But Claxton, man, he's starting to find his way. He's a really good player, man. But I like that under on him going against that D. But he just balled out a little bit in that game, right? So he really had a really strong start. After that strong start, he didn't do too much after, right? But if you have an under and a player gets off to a really strong start, like in the first 5 or 6 minutes, right? A lot of times you're pretty much done because they just need to maintain at a decent rate the rest of the game. And they're going to hit the line, right? So, because after the first quarter, most starters get pulled. Usually they don't come back until like 5-6 minutes left in the second quarter. So if you can get off to a strong start, you're on a good side with the unders. But that was yesterday's recap, man. We ended up not hitting on our top 2 plays. We didn't hit on our 5-man. So a losing day for me. Like I said at the beginning, I'm always going to be 100% transparent with these losses, right? I got nothing to hide. The main point of this channel is for us to beat PrizePicks together. And we've been doing that. If you've been following me from the beginning, it's not been long. It's been like over a month. So I've been making these videos, but I have been winning consistently every day. It's just this last week, it's been a little cold streak, right? And that's the name of the game, right? When it comes to PrizePicks, I'm used to that. I'm used to going on cold streaks. So I'm not, panicking or anything. I'm sticking to my guns, sticking to what's been working for me. And I know it's going to turn around here coming soon, right? But I want to dive into today's plays. Let's see what we're looking at today. All right, so let's dive in here to DGF, right? Let's dive in and take a look at their top plays for the day, right? I always like going over the top play just in case, you don't have a DGF subscription. I still want to show you what the top plays are in here. So if, it comes to adding another slip or whatever you want to do, you have a play that you can feel pretty confident about, right? And their top play of the day right now, filtered this down by just NBA, right? LaMelo Ball still is under 1.5. They have it set at 54.21% rate to hit, odds to hit, right? And the thing with these EV plus plays, man, if you're familiar with EV plus betting, it's not a guaranteed win in any way. Nothing's a lock, right? Nothing's ever a lock in betting, right? If it was, we would all be millionaires. But think about that you're getting a 4% edge. And think about if you have, 4 or 5 or 6 plays, all with a 4% edge in your lineup. Over time, that's going to start adding up, right? You could end up going 0-5 in one night on all your 54%. That could happen, right? Because it's 54%. It's not a huge edge, right? It's not a huge edge, but it's that small edge that adds up. And that's what's key about daily grind, right? You just got to chip away at these plays every day, whatever your style is, whatever your system is. Chip away at them every day and stay consistent on hitting these plays, right? And you'll be profitable in the long term, because this isn't just some random 54%, right? It's taking the odds. BetMGM, a major sports book, they have this at a -140. So they're really favored in this to go under. They favored in Melo Ball to go under this line, right? So always take that into consideration. This is a great tool if, you're on the fly and you just need to make some quick lineups. This is a good tool to go in and see what the top plays are, right? But LaMelo Ball would be the top play for daily grind, still under 1.5, right? But let's get into my top plays of the day, right? And so let's jump in here to NBA. And also NBA, they just added Demons and Goblins, right? They did not have these. They only had it for like NFL, but Demons and Goblins. So I don't have any today. But I might start working these in every now and then. I'm probably going to do separate lineups with the Demons and Goblins as kind of just for fun type lineups where I'm maybe putting 0.5% of my bankroll on those, right? Not a major amount, but just a lot of upside on those plays. So we'll take a look at some Demons and the Goblins throughout the week and see what kind of values we can find. But we're going to start with our number 2 play of the day, right? We're going to my hometown here, Houston. Right, we're going to Houston here. So Sengun, you can even see the Demons and Goblins here, right? So his normal line is, let's see if we can find his normal. Well, they don't even have his normal. So whatever his normal line was, it was probably like 10 or something, 10 or 11. They have him at a Demon or Goblin line at 8.5. So he's got a better chance to hit it, but because you have a better chance of hitting it, they're going to lower the payout, right? You have to play around with it and see how much it affects the payout. But the play we have on Sengun, our number 2 play of the day is going to be under 2.5 turnovers, right? I'm liking this play. And Sengun's a guy who he can turn the ball over, right? He's shown, I watch the Rockets all the time. That's my team. Like I said, I'm from Houston, but Sengun can turn the ball over. But I think a big part of why I like this play also is I'm not going to say Sengun got snubbed from the All-Star game because there's a lot of other great players. So for him to get in, he would have had to have knock out a great player, right? But I think that's going to put a chip on his shoulder moving forward, and the rest of the season, he's really going to prove why he should have been an all-star, right? So that's a part of why I'm liking this play, right? But let's dive into the actual numbers and see here. So we got the Rockets on a -6, right? -6. And let's dive into Sengun and why I'm liking this play. So you can see his last 5, he's hitting this at 40%. So like I said, he can turn the ball over, right? He turns the ball over a lot because a lot of times teams are starting to double team him now that they're seeing how much of a threat he is. So he's in the paint. He's one-on-one with somebody, and then all of a sudden he'll turn around, there's another guy closing in. And I've seen him at times. He's learning. He's still young, but he starts panicking a little, right? He tries to force a throw out, try to dish it out to somebody on the 3-point line, and then, somebody will come across and pretty much steal that pass as he throws it, right? So that's something I see him doing a lot, but I do think he has been working on this, right? Against Boston, he kind of just went back to his old ways, but 2 out of his last 3, you can see Utah, just not as much here. Portland, not as much, right? So I think Sengun's aware that he turns over the ball a lot, right? And with that, I think he's going to work on being a lot more safe with the ball and holding the ball to himself, right? So you can go and look at Charlotte, right? Overall, they're 16th in the league in turnovers forced, right? So they're middle of the pack. But when it comes to centers, they're almost dead last. They don't cause a lot of turnovers on centers, right? So that's a big part of why I'm liking this play. Another big part of why I'm liking this play is Sengun may play limited minutes also, right? So the Rockets are on the road at Charlotte, but tomorrow they're on the road. They're going to Brooklyn, right? So they're on a back-to-back, right? And the spread, I'm liking the spread, right? Because the Rockets are -6.5. Rockets are usually never a favorite by that much, right? It's pretty rare. So the Hornets are without Rozier as well, which hurts their team. They do have Lowry. I'm not sure if he's going to play or not. Lowry, not injury related. It shows he's out. So at the moment, obviously Gordon Hayward's still out. He's not going to be playing at the moment, right? So that's big for us, and that's a big part of this spread as well. They don't really have, besides LaMelo Ball, do have Miles Bridges, but they're missing one of their best players. So I like this guy. I like the act of the Rockets actually blowing them out. I don't think it's going to happen early, but I do see them later on throughout the game getting that blow up. And I think with the back-to-back coming up, Sengun really could play reduced minutes because of that, right? So let's take a look. Let's see. So he's at 51% on the year, right, on this line, right? But let's see in games they've won by. It's probably not going to be a lot. They don't blow out a lot of teams, right? The spread is -6.5. So games they've won by 7, right? He's hit this line 71% of the time, right? And you can see he's played 30 minutes a game in games they've won by 7 plus, right? So only 30 minutes a game, right? If we bring this back down, reset all, he's normally averaging about 32 a game. So in games they win by 7+ minutes, he's playing 2 to 3 minutes less, which may not seem like a lot, but 2 to 3 minutes is a huge deal when it comes to these player props, right? Because a lot of times these players will hit that prop in the last 2 to 3 minutes of the game and either win it or lose it for you, right? Which is a good feeling or a really terrible feeling. So Sengun, I'm liking this, man. In games where he's played, let's see, regardless of the outcome, right? Let's see games he's played. So any game he's played 30 minutes or less, regardless of the outcome, he's hit this line at 91% of the time, right? And the only time he didn't hit it was against Boston here. But yeah, man, when he doesn't play 32, 33+ minutes, he's going to hit this line a lot of the time. Let's bring it up to 31. He goes down to about 69%. If you bring it to 32 and less, 63, 33 and less, 60. So this is how you use Outlier, man. You really dig into the numbers. You dig into their minutes. What's the storyline on the game? What's the spread? How's this game going to play out? How's it shaping to play out, right? You make your best decisions off that. The game starts, anything can happen. Anything can change the flow of the game. But you have to make your best decisions pregame, right? And really roll with those and be confident in those. So Sengun is my guy, number 2 play of the day. Let's go to RotoWire and see what they have him at. So they have him at 36 minutes played, which I don't think he's going to play that much. I don't think it's going to be that close of a game. And they have him at about 2.8 turnovers. So they actually have him going slightly above the turnover line, right? But like I said, I don't think he's going to play the 36 minutes. I think he's going to be more around 30 to 32 minutes, which is a big difference. So let's roll to our top play of the day, right? And our top play of the day is going to be on Dean Wade. So I have under or less than a 4.5 rebounds. And just to give you a quick example of how these demon lines work, right? Let me show you a quick example of how these work while I'm in it. This is my top play. I'm going to be going under 4.5 rebounds, right? And just to give you an insight on how the odds are against you, which is not bad on the demons, they increase your payout, which is good. But let me just show you. So for the demon, right, you need to hit over 5.5 rebounds, right? We got him at under 4.5 on a minus 135 on up in all sports books. Those are really good odds. So for him to hit over 5.5 right here, his odds are plus 195, right? So you really hurt your odds on demons, but that's part of it. That's part of the fun of it, right? It's an upside play, right? So I wouldn't say put these in your lineup consistently. I would say maybe mix and match them every now and then, but put less of your bankroll on these plays if you're going to play it. That's how I play it, right? I like sticking with my system and what's been working for me. But let's get back to it, right? I just wanted to show you that real quick as a good example. But Cleveland spread, right? Okay, so Cleveland's on the road plus 5.5 against Milwaukee, right? I'm liking this play. I'm actually liking Milwaukee to blow them out, right? I'm expecting that. I don't know what's going to happen. Last time I thought that Cleveland ended up beating them by like 40 points. It was crazy. But Milwaukee beat them last game. I can't remember the exact score, but Dean Wade is a player who, let's go over his last 5, right? 60% on the line here. Actually, let me reset all this. I had some filters I was messing with. So last 5, he's in this at 40%, right? His last 10, he's at 60%. His last 20, 45. Head-to-head, he's been about 40% for this season. He's hitting this line about 67% of the time on the over. For the year, he's at 49%. So he's not really been killing the line, right, all season. He's been back and forth all season pretty much. Let's dive into Milwaukee. So against big man, they are 5th in rebounds allowed, right? And then they are 16th. So middle of the pack there, right? So Dean Wade, and you can see, let's look at his minutes for the year. So that's something you always want to keep an eye on, right? Because he's at 22 minutes. So he does not play heavy minutes. You can see he got a bump here. This could have been from players being out for those games or whatever the case, right? But he hasn't gone that high in a long time. He has not played above 30 minutes in a game since that, right? Which is a big part for his rebounds being a little lower for big men, right? So he doesn't play heavy minutes, right? So you want to really filter that down, right? If I'm going unders, I like players that don't play heavy minutes because they have less opportunities. And so one cool thing about outliers, you can kind of filter this down by away games only or home games, wherever they're at, right? But what I want to see is, let's see how many games they've lost by 5+ points. And you can see his line. He's hit this at 55% on games where they lost by 5+. Only 11 games, so not a lot, right? But on the 5+ games, right, he's averaged about 19.1 minutes, right? So 55%. So 19.1. So let's look at games where he's played 19 minutes or less, right? That's lost by, so let's do any, right? 60% of the season. It's been 10 games, but when he's played 19 minutes or less, he's hit this line 60% of the time, right? And let's increase it up a couple, right? When he's played, it's actually weird. He went up, right? Usually don't see that. You'll see a different side, but when he's played 21 minutes or less, he's hit this line at 73% of the time, right? And so I don't think it's going to keep going up. But when he's played 25 minutes or less, right, he's hit this line at 61% of the time. You can even go to all the way up. This is where it starts becoming pretty much his season, right? So if you go to 30, he's at 50%. But recently, he has not been playing anywhere close to 30 minutes, right? And you can see from what I was showing you, right? this is his last 30-minute game. This was back in December 27th, right? And he's played 17, 20, 20, 27, 26, 25, 24, 22. So I would say he's probably going to get somewhere between 23 to 26 minutes, somewhere in that range. But if that Bucks blowout happens, I expect him to get somewhere around 21 to 22 minutes, right? So that's really good for us. And you see what happens if he's under that line. So that's the way you want to kind of use Outlier to its full potential, right? Really dive in, figure out the minutes, figure out the spread and the game flow and everything like that, right? And really dive in. This is one of my favorite tools. If you want to try it out, I partnered up with them, and there's actually a free 7-day trial that you can get a part of. And they have a really good mobile app as well that does the exact same thing that I'm doing right here, right? But let's dive into Daily Grind real quick and take a look and see where they have these plays at, right? So Sengun, you can see he is actually a really strong play on Daily Grind, right? BetMGM has this at a minus 140. DraftKings minus 135. So those are really good odds at 54.21% chance to hit. Let's go Dean Wade here, less than 4.5 rebounds. He is the top player prop for Dean Wade as well, 53.86%. BetMGM minus 135, Caesars and DraftKings minus 135, and BetOnline has us at a minus 137. So amazing odds for us there. But let's dive into my next 3 plays, right? This is what I'm gonna be bundling these up with. And luckily, none of these lines have changed so far, which is a good thing for us. I actually think this one got removed because now I'm looking at my screen here and it's green on my screen, which means the play got removed. So this was my 3rd play. It was Luke Kennard. Is it Kennard? Kennard? But the line I had was less than 4.5 assists, right? So the line is gone. This one I sent out in the Discord, which is why if you want to get access to these plays, join the Discord absolutely free. The link is in the comments and in the description, right? But the play I had was Luke Kennard under 4.5 assists. So I'm liking that play. If you can get that anywhere else, that's going to be the play. This is a play I'm really liking, right? Victor Wembanyama, over 10.5 rebounds, right? And the last 5 never tells the whole story because he's been playing limited minutes. Popovich has had him on limited minutes, right? Like 25 to 27. But he said recently that he's off that minute restriction and he's going to be playing up to 30 minutes a game. And if you go to like Outlier on him and filter it down where games he's played 30 plus minutes, his last 5, he's like 5 for 5 on that. For the year, he's like over 60% on games he's played over 30 minutes, which isn't a lot. But his last 5, he's really been crushing that line. So Victor Wembanyama is a player I am liking a lot in this game to get those boards for us, right? And then the last play I'm liking is James Harden under rebounds and assists, 14.5, right? I think the Clippers are going to blow out the Raptors. They're like a -8 on the spread. I think they're going to go in there and do work, right? And James Harden is going to get pulled in the 4th quarter. That's my thought process on it, right? Even when James Harden has been playing full minutes, he has been struggling to hit this line recently. So even with the chance of a blowout happening and him getting reduced minutes, I'm really liking this play. There's games where he doesn't even get rebounds at all, right? He could normally usually get like 3 to 5, right? But there's games and a chance of where he doesn't even get a rebound. So even if he goes off an assist, right, and gets 9 or 10 assists, there's a chance he won't get any rebounds. So I'm liking this play on James Harden here. And to quickly recap, my top play of the day, Dean Wade, less than 4.5 rebounds. My number 2 play, Sengun, less than 2.5 turnovers. Victor Wembanyama, more than 10.5 rebounds. James Harden, less than 14.5 rebounds and assists. And I had Luke Kennard, less than 4.5 assists, which the line already got pulled. Boom. And that's going to be it for this video, guys. Those are my PrizePicks plays for the day. Like I said, we are looking to rebound. We're coming off a couple of losing days after a really strong start to the year. We crushed it all of last year, and that was the reason why I decided to start this channel, right? Because my plays have been going well, and I just wanted to find a way to get these plays to everyone. So what better way to start a YouTube channel, right? And since then, I've only been posting these videos for a little over a month and a half now. We've already grown over 900 subscribers. So I appreciate y'all who are liking this and these videos. commenting, and helping the channel grow, right? It really helps YouTube when you hit that like button to push the video out to a bigger audience, because I've said time and time again, the main goal of this channel is for us to beat PrizePicks together. And for you to learn as well, if you're sort of new to this, learn how I'm using these tools, see how I'm using them. So whenever you have a player you're not sure about, you can actually dive in and pick apart his line, right? And see if it's a good play or not, right? Because there's a lot of different routes you can go. And this is the route I go. It's the route I choose to go and diving deep and doing research like that. But these tools are at your discretion, right? If you don't have the time, if you just want to put lineups in on the fly, you could always just kind of go with my plays if you want, or you can dive into these tools and really just hit the filter button and have a plays picked out for you, right? So a lot of different ways you can go. Like I also said, I'm gonna start dropping those NHL lineups in the Discord. We hit a 10x yesterday, 5 for 5 on our lineup. We've hit it a couple of times over the last week in NHL, so I'm liking that. NHL is a lot different than NBA, so I can't run the exact same system I use in NBA. There's a lot of different changes. NHL's, I would say, is more similar to MLB. But yeah, NHL, I've been working on tweaking this model, getting it right, making the adjustments weekly. But I'm ready to roll it out, right? But it's absolutely free. The only thing is I'm just going to be posting them in the Discord because I don't want to create a whole separate video for this. Too much time for me. I just want to stick to, the one video a day I'm doing for the NBA. But join that Discord if you want the lineup to the NHL. I'm going to work on the lineup later. I don't know exactly if I'm going to have one out today because there's actually a smaller slate on NHL, but the rest of the days I definitely will. But that's going to be it for this video, guys. Drop some like, drop some comments. I appreciate y'all. I'll see y'all on the next video with the full recap. Take care.